Alright, Shalom, and welcome to another show of GMS Collage, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that's first and foremost. Also, double honors to the elder apostles of GMS who rule well, and also honor and salutations to you other brothers that are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth, and who make up the hopeful elect. Alright, so today, we decided we're going to roll in the spirit. We got something we want to start with, but we're going to allow the spirit to, carry us wherever it may. To get started, I was reading an article. This brother said he read the same article about something that was going on with sanctions, as far as the U.S. putting sanctions through the UN, I believe, on North Korea for the as North Korea has been really getting into creating nuclear weapons, and they testing them bad boys too. They testing them bad boys, and what their goal is to shoot their missiles from Korea over here to the United States, and that's their goal. And they damn close. They damn close. And what it speaks to is the wars and rumors of wars that we always talk about in Matthew the 24th chapter. We don't know per se whether or not Korea and America are going to be in war, but we do know that these are the pieces and parts that are put in play in order for that war to come to pass, in order for that final war, that great war to come to pass. This is a part of it. So we want to speak about it, and I'll say this, for those of you who have things to say about GMS, or we're repeating the same things over and over and over, so be it. If you read the letters of Paul, the epistles of Paul rather, Jude, is it Jude? Yeah. Philemon, First and Second John, Third John, they're all repeating the same things. They all saying the same thing, and if you notice, Paul said, give me Acts 2 and 2. Start at the first verse. Because this is the time we're in. We're in the time of a lot of things that are coming to pass and have come to pass, and really there isn't much left to be seen before the major prophecies start happening. So you're gonna hear a lot of us repeating things over and over and over. Get that from me?
Acts 2 and 1.
Yep.
And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all in one accord in one place.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Joel?
Nope. Where it says I was concerned. Is it 3-1? Let me see what 3-1 say. Nah, I forget. Well, it'll come to me in a minute. But Paul basically said that he wasn't concerned with anything saving Yahweh Shai. That was his concern. So that's our concern. And if as you know, the scriptures say that the testimony of Yahweh Shai is prophecy. So it's our duty to make sure that we're getting the prophecies out. That's the main focus right now in this time, as we come to the end of this thing, is making sure that we get the prophecies, that we get them prophecies out. The chip, you're gonna start hearing a lot more about the chip, more than you already have heard. You're gonna start hearing more and more about the nuclear war. You're gonna start hearing more and more about race riots, because this is the time we're in.
Right.
You wanna say something?
I'm not. Just 2nd Ezra 15 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
That's right. So that's what we're doing. We're speaking in the ears of the people the words of prophecy, because this is the time we're in. We're in the time of prophecy coming to pass. We're in the time where like when the hand was writing on the wall, it's the same time where the end is getting ready to come. Man, I forget the exact words, how to say it in the Babylonian tongue, but it's basically saying that, look, the end is here. Like the old saying goes, the writings on the wall. That's where they got that from. That the proof is in the pudding. That all of those old sayings, they were in those times of those sayings. Go ahead.
Which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Right, and cause them to be written in paper. So in that time, we wrote the prophecies down. We'd have a vision. The Lord will come to us in a vision in the night. Maybe a brother may have been fasting, and the Lord would come to him. But when he would come out of that trance, or when he would come out of that vision, he would write the things down. Now in this time, our focus is on speaking the things and putting these shows out. These shows are our writings. Like how we wrote in days of old, now we put up these shows, we press the record button, and that's us writing, you know. But
real quick, Habakkuk chapter 2 and 3.
Perfect.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
That's right.
But at the end it shall speak and not lie.
Right. The vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. And right now it's speaking. And they say speak. Speak is a verb, right? That a person does, right? It's speaking. And who's the one speaking? Yahushua. It said that this is his testimony. If you look up the word testimony, it's something that you say, that you speak. You know. Go ahead.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time,
Yep.
but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
Right, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. And then we're in that time for these prophecies to be speaking. And the reason why we believe it so hardly is because everything that you read about in the scriptures is happening. Everything. from the race skirmishes that are happening in this country, the tension that has risen. I mean, just from 2008 to now, the amount of tension that has risen between Russia and America is insurmountable, man. You know, what else? The chip. We're talking about all the pieces being in play for famines to happen. Look what happened, right? You had this hurricane that happened in Houston, right? Now here we are in New England, and our gas prices were affected by the things that went on in Houston, right? So imagine if, you know, these next 3 hurricanes that are coming through the Atlantic right now hit with the same ferocity as these other 2 did. That means that gas prices are going to go up even higher. And what would happen if the gas prices go up even higher? These truck drivers, they got to do what? They got to go on strike. How are they going to be able to afford the gas? And what's in those trucks? Food, clothing, you know, all your goods that you need to survive are in those trucks.
And you take it some steps further, we're talking about the things that happen here that affect the gas prices. You got Iran talking about if they attack, they're going to block the Strait of Hormuz, in which I think about something about 90% of the world's oil is coming out of that strait. So if they block that, then you can imagine the ripple effect that's going to have on the economy. Like the brother was saying, gas prices, the food, everything down the line, it's going to be an event of biblical proportions. Exactly what the scripture's talking about.
And we got to start saying that a lot more too.
Yeah.
These things that are happening are of biblical proportions. You know, that's a great saying, man. We said it a lot at camp this past week. You know, these things are of biblical proportions, meaning that whatever the Bible said was going to happen in this time is happening, man. You know, and like the brother was saying about all the things that happen, oil is what makes the world go round. Oil is the thing that the earth runs on.
That's money.
That's money. Oil is money.
Yeah.
And because the dollar is the reserve currency that you need to purchase oil, as America goes, so goes the rest of the world.
That's right.
So if the gas prices go up here, that means the rest of the world is feeling that too. If the dollar declines here, that means the rest of the world is going to feel that too.
It's going to create a huge ripple effect in the economy because the rest of the world has to hustle for that American dollar to get that oil. That oil is that life. Oil is how you gas up your truckers, your airplanes,
your boats,
your homes, heating. It's everything. It's an economy. Like the brother said, it's money.
That's it. And that's what we see. The scriptures told us, and now we see it and coming into fruition. Let's go to Revelation 18 and read a little bit of that. Just because we said that. You know, because the scriptures talk about a great Babylon, right? That every nation would depend on. That every nation would get rich off of, right? So whether it be through trade, whether it be through, even if you have, which most countries, this is not the case for most countries. They either export or import goods here in this country. But even if you don't, even if you're a country that has no ties with America, you need oil, and to get that oil, you got to get that dollar. You see, so every country, every land is connected to this one, just like the scripture said it would be. You know.
You want to get to the point?
Oh yeah.
So Revelation 18, verse 8. Therefore shall a plague come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall
that plague should come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and we see all the pieces being put in play for that to happen. Right? We got an unstable economy. We got an unstable presidency, right? Unstable race relations, unstable relations between countries. I forget what they call that. Not race relations, but diplomacy. Everything is unstable because all the pieces are being set in play for these things to happen. You know,
and it's not just do we have an unstable president here, but abroad. Kim Jong-un, his light bulb ain't too bright. You know, Ahmadinejad in the gang.
Right.
You know, you got all these other leaders. They're perfect for the time that we live in. You know,
and it's beautiful, man. It's like poetry to see. You know, you gotta. He's a chess player, and I play a little bit too. But when you see a good game being played, and you see the other dude like really getting into it, it's a beautiful thing to watch, man. And that's what the Lord is doing right now. He's putting all the moving the pawns here, moving this rook over there, castling. You know, all these pieces are being put into play, and it's a beautiful thing to watch, man. It's poetry.
You're protecting. At the same time, while you're protecting, you got to worry about offerings. You're setting up pieces. Some pieces got to be sacrificed for greater pieces. Good pieces, you know. Sometimes you sacrifice your queen just for a checkmate. You know, another person doesn't see it, but you see it, like the brother said. You see it plain when you look at it spiritually. When you look at it carnally, you're kind of stuck in a whirlwind. But when you look at it spiritually, you're looking down at a bird's eye view of the way the world is being played out.
Because carnally, we got to worry about the day to day. You know, getting up in the morning, going to work, taking care of the kids, and doing all these things. So you could easily get wrapped up in the carnal way of thinking. But you got to make sure. That's why the scriptures say, "Watch as well as pray." Right. That watching is what puts you in the mindset you need to be in. You know, read a little article. You know what you do? Get you a couple of news apps and put the notifications on, and you get news all day. You don't even have to really be because me, I'm not that great at going to look up shit. But when the notifications come through and I see it and I see that it's in line with the scriptures, I'll read it. You know, so that's why you got to watch as well as pray. Praying is beautiful, and that's what is going to show the Lord that we mean this thing when we supplicate for His mercy, right? But you got to watch too, man. You got to watch so that you can know what time you're in. Go ahead.
So this is back in Revelation 18:8. She shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judges.
Right. She shall be utterly burnt with fire. And what is that fire? The nuclear missile, man. The scriptures talk about a great bow that would be able to be shot from one end of the earth to the other. You know, and that's what that fire is talking about. You know, when I grew up in Sunday school, right, we always would hear, the second death is going to be by fire. The second death is going to be by fire, but they never told you what kind of fire, and they never told you by what means. So that fire is going to be a nuclear fire, a radiant fire, and by the means of war. But they didn't tell you that in Sunday school. And it's funny how you can say such specifics to the war and to the fire, but not know how it's going to happen. The scriptures talk about it being a war, a great war at the end.
Real quick, 2nd Ezra 16 and 13. For strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss.
His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. What are those arrows? The nuclear missiles, the ICBMs. Right? North Korea is not coming up with the technology to be able to shoot missiles from their land here for nothing. Russia is not handing out missiles for nothing. It's just like the scriptures say that Russia would be like a safe haven for all these smaller nations. It's happening, man. Selling missiles to Libya and Iran and so forth and so on. Everything is happening the way the Lord said it would happen. Everything,
Hey, real quick, bro. Because the scripture said the arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. When they begin to shoot to the ends of the world, these devils got laser guided missiles, and these things hit with precision. They perfected the craft of shooting the missiles over here that they hit specifically the target where they want to hit. So for strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world.
Right, into the ends of the world. So that means if you have ends of something, right, that's one side to the other. Right? Now we know that there is no archer You know, like Kimbo Slice can shoot an arrow. It ain't gonna go from one side of the city to the other.
Right. Down. You know.
This is saying that it's gonna go from one end of the earth to the other.
Right.
So what is that? Intercontinental ballistic missiles.
That's right. That's right.
You know.
Back in Revelation,
Mm-hmm.
she shall be burned with fire,
Mm-hmm.
utterly burnt with fire, for strong is the Lord who judges her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication.
Right, kings of the earth that have committed fornication with her, right? So what is the fornication here? How they have imports and exports with this country, the dollar, and they have to having to buy it in order to purchase oil, tariffs and trade here, and all of these things are how these other nations fornicate with the whore, man.
Right, they played that dirty game with them, you know. You complain about child labor over here, but the majority of your things come from China. There's no child labor laws. They pay them 25 cents an hour, no shoes, and so you played that dirty game. Steve Jobs, he's a great American hero. He made billions of dollars off of child labor. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody knows this. Everybody plays this dirty game with America. They're in bed with the whore, so therefore they gotta be judged.
That's right. That's right.
It says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament her, and when they see her smoke, the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying,
go ahead.
Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour.
Now I looked up that word alas, and it escapes me right now. But you know, I always thought that alas meant like finally, but it doesn't. It's almost like to say behold, or here it is finally, that great whore is being destroyed, man. You know, this is all them kings that live deliciously off of this place. And in what way? In what way? The evidence is there, right? You got, like I said, imports and exports, the dollar, right? America, because the tribe of Judah is here. This is the nation that has the highest amount of purchasing power. All Jake do is go buy shit. That's all they do. They buy cars, they buy clothes, they buy jewelry. The nation of Israel is single-handedly keeping the economy afloat. You see? So because of that, China can sell things here. Japan can sell things here. You know, Mexico can sell things here. You know. And this is how they have committed fornication with this place. Go ahead.
France. You know, Hennessy's coming out of
absolutely,
France.
Absolutely.
E&J's coming.
Absolutely.
All that.
Absolutely.
The Gucci shoes is coming out of Italy.
Absolutely.
The Lamborghinis is coming out of Italy, and they're getting free advertising from these rap stars and stuff like that. So a lot of things, man. A lot of people get money out of Jake.
Go ahead, read that.
And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her.
Right, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn. Why? You know, wouldn't you weep and mourn when you have been making money with somebody and that person that you made money like it's maybe a bad example, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Paid in full. When you had Ace getting the money, getting the kilos from Lulu. Lulu died. He had to, you know, how am I gonna get these keys now? You know, that was the plug. So America's the plug to the dough, man. You know, so if America is gone, it rightfully so. The people that live off of this place, they will mourn.
And bro, it's easy money. Where I work at is a distribution center, and everything's literally shipped from China, held in this big factory, then shipped out. And the things that these people are making, it's just foolishness, man. Every cycle that comes around, for right now we're getting in the Halloween gear is coming in, hard body, so different masks and makeups, and it's just a bunch of fun. These people ain't celebrating none of these things over there. Christmas and, you know, white Santa Claus, and they're not celebrating Easter bunnies. They're making bunnies, and these people are making crazy money off of the foolishness.
Just
of
them little plastic eggs with the little that you can put the toys inside of. Just little shit like that.
And that's money, easy to make, and these people they're gonna buy them up. So fidget spinners, them things are being made. Chinese people are like, you know, they don't give a damn about no fidget spinners and whatnot, but you know, over here it's money, man. Easy money. The merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The merchants of gold and silver, precious stones,
gold and silver, that isn't on these the German gold, so-called Africa, they got gold there, right? You got these land, because America has been used up so much, it doesn't produce anything here anymore.
Right.
So all those things that it's going to mention here, the gold, the silver, and so forth and so on, they have to get from other places.
Right.
I just recently bought some frankincense, and and it came all the way from England. You see? So something like that, you read the scripture, oh, ain't nobody buying frankincense no more. But yeah, there is people buying frankincense, and they got to get it from overseas because this place doesn't produce anything anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
It's precious stone. You see, look what I was talking about, tiptoeing on my marble floors and, and stuff like that.
Right.
And of pearls and of fine linen, your Gucci, you know, your Louis Vuitton, Christian Louboutin.
Right.
And purple and silk and what's that? Versace. And scarlet and all thy wood and merino vessels of ivory.
Right. I got this. Got this countertop. This is imported from France.
Right.
You know.
Right. Everything that's of
value.
Value is imported.
Oh, shit.
They'll brag about it. Like my car is foreign.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, anything of value is coming from. Look at this is an Indian rug. You know, hand stitched.
Yeah. My hand sewn sneakers or whatever they got nowadays, Giuseppe's. You know what I mean? Like all of this stuff that you know is held as a commodity here, they got to get from other places. You know. So again, this is the prophecy speaking, man. You know.
It says, "And manner of vessels of ivory, and all manners of vessels of precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and of marble."
Right. So these big skyscraper buildings with iron that they're making, they got to get that iron from somewhere else, man. You know.
It says, "And cinnamons, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil."
Right. You go to the liquor store, right? Go. I challenge people to do this. Go to the liquor store and go to the wine section.
Yeah.
You will not find not one American brand of wine in there at all.
They'll have sections. Italian wine, you know, French wine, and
Portuguese,
Portuguese wine, but
you will not find the only thing that America does make, and which is, and really they barely do that, is beer. You know, you got some Sam Adams, as a matter of fact, might be the only American.
Budweiser.
Nah, but that's German.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heineken, all that, Corona, all of them, all these popular beers
from Mexico.
Yeah, all these beers, these are all from other nations. Imports. Right. And you go in the liquor store, it'll say imports right up top there in the little sign. It'll say imports, and down underneath it is a bunch of beer that wasn't made here. So like we said, this land is the land of Great Babylon, and it's evident, man, because the scripture said so.
Yeah, and no other nation on the planet in the past has ever fit this prophecy right here. As perfect as America. It says of fine flour and wheat and yeast and sheep. Even when you're dealing with the animals, the pets. I got a German Shepherd, French Poodle. All the animals is from. You know, I got me an African tiger. Rappers on MTV Cribs. So I got an African tiger or whatnot. Even those things are imported. And we saw them kill all the American eagle was an American animal. It's on the extinct list. Buffalo, you don't killed that off. All of them. You know. It says, "And sheep, and horse, and chariots, and slaves, and the souls of men."
That's right. And what place has the greatest concentration of slaves but America? You see? So that's how you take what you do. You take the prophecies that were written of, right? And then you look at current events and things that are going on in today, and you link them together, man.
Go ahead. And it's not even just talking about old slaves. When you think of slaves like the 1800s,
right? You
got for instance, the guy that worked at the barbershop, he was telling me about how his wife got got an offer for a job overseas, and a lot of people are taking jobs overseas, and those are slaves, man. They taking their social security card.
That's a great point.
And they're going overseas to go do work in a foreign country, for foreign people.
A lot of those East Indian immigrants that came here and learned English, they went right back over there. They working for Verizon call centers. Comcast call centers, DirecTV call centers. They came here to learn their little English so they can be a telemarketer, and they went right back over there. They making $2 an hour answering phone calls, man.
That's your tech.
Yeah. It's only a step up from the damn computer that you argue with. Put me on the phone with a person. You know, so they only a step up from that. So yeah, they slaves, man. That's slavery. You know.
Verse 14. And the fruits that thou so lusted after are departed from thee,
right.
And all things which were dainty and good are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all.
Right. So this is the land, man. This is that place that the prophecy talked about, that great Babylon, right? So let's stop there and then go to what's that, Isaiah 47. It also talks about Babylon being exposed. In other words,
Isaiah 47:1.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's Isaiah chapter 47 verse 1.
Yep.
It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon."
Right. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Now this is talking about Babylon again. Why do we say virgin daughter of Babylon? Because militarily there has never been a war fought on this land since the so-called Civil War, and even that wasn't, that was a coup, so to speak, or a racket, I should say, Go ahead.
There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Right. So we always say, like we say at camp, stand beside her and guide her. This country or this land is known as a delicate woman, and the scripture is saying that it shall no more be known as that. And look around. Look around. No one from other countries takes this country seriously anymore. Right. They don't take it. At one time, if you go to foreign to us, but if you go to another country and say America, they give people the chills, man. But now motherfuckers ain't doing shit. I mean, look, Donald Trump is a goddamn celebrity, is the president, man. Yeah. That's indicative of the mindset or the mind state of this country.
It's also the opposite, where you get that respect now. They're going over. You got American sailors getting beat up in Turkey. Americans getting kidnapped down in Mexico. Yep. Getting beat up, getting spit on. Getting their flag burnt and whatnot. They're disrespecting this place.
Yep. No one is in fear. Matter of fact, we can go to that next, where it says let the weak nation say I'm strong. We can go to. You want to go get it?
I'll get real quick.
So Joel, the 3rd chapter, I think it's about the 8th or 9th verse.
So it says,
Start at 10.
Alright, so this is, matter of fact, start at 9, right?
Okay.
Joel chapter 3, verse 9.
Yep.
Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, who prepare war.
That's right.
Wake up the mighty men.
Right, and that's what's going on in the world today. People are preparing for war, and I mean, not the peons, right? Not on the low level, right? But the elite of the nations are preparing for war.
I'm glad you said it too, because I was watching there's a site, Black Lives Matter. Not Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. And obviously it's a bunch of racist Edomites on there, and what they're concerned about is more on they're low-level Edomites, but they're more concerned about the racial tensions in America. And I left a comment basically saying, like, while you guys are all worrying about what's going on in America, you got some powerful guys in Israel that's hell-bent on making your kids go fight some wars in the Middle East and die over some oil. But it's the fact that you said that, not the higher echelons of Esau, Esau, they're worrying about this Third World War, where you have these regular peons, these Joe Schmoes. Their role is to get ready for this race war, so it all ties in perfectly together.
Right. So again, at the peon level, they're not concerned about the Third World War. So when it says prepare, it's talking about those elites, those nations, those heads of those nations. They're ready for war, man.
Real quick. This is Revelation chapter 16, verse 16.
Yeah,